24-foot fifth wheel actually turns and acts like a travel trailer. And you stick this thing in, and again, it works. And then you turn it on, and wow, there's a wow moment.
All the RV dogs.
Pebbles, Paisley, and this is Rusty.
So Rusty's looking for a new home, huh?
Yeah.
Each dog has its own little
that.
entrance into their cave, and check this out. My buddy did this. So they've got their own little doors.
What advice would you give to like complete RV newbies that like, you know, I've never RV'd before, you know, how do I get into the lifestyle?
How about that?
I can see why you don't mind driving and parking at night.
Now give me a right turn signal. How about that?
Everybody knows what you're doing.
Yes.
Wow.
So we have docking lights. The storage on this thing is insane. Tow vehicle might get bigger.
Funny.
Big enough. He's not a smart car guy. I think they're cute, but he won't drive.
See, that's just like her shirt. It's cute. I'm not gonna wear that, and I'm not driving a smart car.
Do you ever use this for fun?
I cannot answer that question.
I did order a shirt that says raising my husband is exhausting, so I can't wait till I get it. I might need one in every color so I can wear it every day.
That's what you call goals, right?
I'm Tom.
And I'm Cheri.
And we're EnjoyTheJourney.Life. Well, I'm walking through the parking lot at the 2023 Big Tampa RV Show, and I hear Tom, and it's Rob, or the mayor, as you're known, and you're going to tell us about that, and Nina here have graciously invited me to do a tour of their amazing RV. They've got some upgrades, but wait till you see their tow vehicle. I mean, that is crazy. So how are you guys liking the show so far?
It's been amazing. We've seen so many friends that come to our resort, stopping by the booth, and we've met so many new people, including yourself. We have watched your videos for a long time, and like I said earlier, that we've learned a lot from your videos, places to go, how to overcome things and all that. So it's been an awesome weekend, right, man?
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for that. And so Camp Margaritaville, I have heard of it. Tell us about it.
So we are in Auburndale, Florida. And you say, where is Auburndale? It's centrally located. We are 30 miles east of Tampa and 30 miles west of Orlando, right off of I-4 on the Polk County Parkway.
Okay.
So right in the little town of Auburndale.
Rob, I caught you at work here.
Hello, Tom. How are you?
Great. It is the Camp Margaritaville booth here.
Yes, right here in Auburndale, Florida.
So are you giving out free margaritas? What's going on?
I have a special one for you.
Okay.
You'll need a little blender or whatever.
All right, cheers.
Yeah. Oh, this is dink dink. It's beautiful and fresh. Yes. And we do have our Margaritaville blender. See?
Nice.
Right. So
I see lots of limes. Where's the tequila? Right.
after hours.
Okay, I see.
This is one out of the fleet. We have 60 golf carts and 4-seaters, 6-seaters, and then you can hook your phone to the Bluetooth stereo.
Oh, sweet.
Oh yeah. In the resort we have 325 RV sites, and as you watch this, we have beautiful cement pull-in sites. They range from 95 to 105 feet long, so a rig like ours, no problem. couple kids parks, tons of activities for kids and adults, right?
Okay.
Kids park. We're very dog friendly. We have 4 dog parks, 2 dog spas where we supply the shampoo and conditioner for your dog.
Oh man.
Yeah. We have putt-putt golf, gaga ball. We have community fire pits, 2 big tiki bars.
I see the tiki bar.
This is
Look at that pool. Oh
this
man.
is the tiki bar. We're on a lake, and we got premium pull-through suites for the motorhomes, cottages, pull-throughs.
Trying to figure out what kind of
Fine-looking ladies.
Very cool.
We have a kids pool with all the toys and games inside the pool. 2 0 walk-in pools, so you just walk right in. And we have 3 restaurants now, right on site. So when you get there, you don't have to leave. It's a beautiful place. Hence the name Margaritaville. It's totally chill.
Very cool.
It's awesome, and it's in Auburndale, and people are like,
There's the tiki bar.
There it is. We have 2 of those. This is a view of our pull-through sites. They're all cement. No real grass in your site. It's all AstroTurf. And then we have shell and pavers. There's our quick view of the competition. It was done by professional championship golf guys that made this.
Okay.
Golf. These are our back-end sites. They're all on shell, 85 feet to 100 feet long, 35 foot wide. And then we have Kamado Joe's on these. Check this out. See this baby?
Oh man, that is a premium site. Wow.
Yep. Chairs, the grill, and then there's the bar up underneath the tiki, and in the tiki, see the hammock? We have fans and a television up in the tiki as well. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Pretty stressless place, you know.
Well, thank you for sharing.
Yes, thanks for coming by, Tom. See you soon.
You bet. You are in a Grand Design.
Yes, sir.
Here, I think one of the most popular models. I think this is actually the model that Cheri really loves.
Mm-hmm.
You've got the rear kitchen. So tell us what model and why you picked it.
This is a 390 RKR with the residential refrigerator. We originally were going to buy the 376TH, the toy hauler Momentum. Had the color picked out and everything, and because we have a golf cart, so I wanted the golf cart or the Harley to go into the hybrid toy hauler. And I love the front living room. I want it to be high. And Ray Clark from Grand Design snagged Nina and says, "Hey, come look at this new floor plan a couple years ago." I'm like, "Don't go. We're here to buy this. Quit straying me away." Because, you know, for 2 years or so, you know, I've looked and looked and looked. This is what I want. And so she got away and she texted me, "Hey, come over to this 390. I'm like, "What's a 390? And we walked in, and the first thing, obviously, you see is the kitchen. And it's bare right now because we are fixing to put everything, slides in and go home. But when you walk in and see the big kitchen, I'm like, wow. And then I walked in, I turned around, and I saw the accent wall here in the living room, which is a full teak wall.
Oh, yeah. That's awesome.
With the fireplace and, you know, how we have it decorated, obviously, it's pretty cool. And my friend built that, the mantle on there. But we saw that, and I'm like, you know, the rooms are divided. You have a real living room, and you can walk up into the kitchen, and you can entertain a lot of people in this kitchen, and you're nowhere close to the roof being elevated.
For more epic RV tours like this one, make sure you smash that subscribe button, or you can scan this QR code right over here with your smartphone and you can get subscribed for the next RV tour video. Let's get back into it.
And the bathroom is big, 2 double sinks, big shower, and a king bed up front, so
It's comfortable.
it's very comfortable.
And I like that the living room's in the middle because most units have the kitchen in the middle.
Yeah.
Right.
And then the storage on this thing is insane. Up front, I have the outdoor pull-out kitchen, and I modified the 17-inch, you know, the grill, and I put my 22-inch Blackstone on there. So that is awesome.
Very cool. And if we have time, I'd love to take a look at the storage, because it always blows my mind every time I see the storage on these units.
Well, because we threw everything together real quick to come to the show. The front, it's full.
Okay.
But not overweight. And the rear,
not for your tow vehicle.
No. Oh, yeah, true. When you see that, no worries. But we're good on the frame weight and all that. And so I looked in here, I was like, oh, wow, but I can't tow my Harley or my golf cart. And Ray says, come with me. And then I got to see the under storage. I'm like, wow. And then he pulled the tray out at the back, right? And then when he put the tray in and moved the flowers, there's a hitch. I said, what? So we double towed, right? For
a little while.
Yeah, I think the combined miles that we have on that was 12,000 miles that we double towed the 390 and an enclosed trailer. Well, we started with an open trailer, right?
Open trailer with the bike, and then enclosed trailer with the bike, and then the golf cart.
Yep.
But not the Jeep.
Yeah, we didn't double tow the Jeep, just the golf cart. Things change, and I'm not doing the Harley riding that we used to do anymore, and now we got into Jeeps. So we started learning about HDTs, right? Mm-hmm. And I see smart cars on there, and
he's not a smart car guy. I think they're cute, but he won't drive.
See, that's just like her shirt. It's cute. I'm not gonna wear that, and I'm not driving a smart car. So we had to come up with something, and I met these wonderful guys, Jesse and Neil, at Hall Fabrications in Auburndale, which is right by our resort. And we spoke and talked, and I told them what my end idea was, and we can do that. So as you'll see in a minute, the tow vehicle that we have, and we're able to take our Jeep with us. So we're putting this all together so when we get a little bit younger and can step away from work.
5 more years.
Okay.
I don't think it'll last that long.
I'm retiring in 5 years or less.
How long have you been RVing then?
Since 2015, me.
Yes, since we met in 2015.
2014.
14, yeah. And then we bought a camper right away. I grew up in the business, so my parents and I had an RV dealership in Lakeland, Florida. And we were the Southeast's largest Starcraft dealer for years in the 80s and 90s. And we sold Dutchman and Playmore, Trail Manor and all that. So it was a mom and pop store, right? Couple acres and awesome. So I grew up washing tires, and then kind of ran the business with my mom. My dad had some heart issues, so I stepped in, and he got better and had a heart transplant. Lazy Days moved in, kind of killed the mom and pop stores, so we got rid of the RV retail lot. And then my dad and a couple of his friends from Starcraft opened up the company called Sunnybrook RV. So we had the manufacturing company called Sunnybrook.
I've heard of that.
Yep.
Okay.
So we were part of that. My dad was one of the owners of that with a couple guys from Starcraft. And we sold Sunnybrook to Winnebago, just like Grand Design. So.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a great company. So, as you see, Grand Design keeps moving on with innovative stuff and that kind of thing. So it was a good marriage. They bought us, and when I turn a certain age, there's my retirement, and you'll see a smoke screen behind me when I get that. Boy, I'll be the tow vehicle might get bigger.
Funny.
Big enough.
Funny. So what advice would you give to complete RV newbies that I've never RV'd before, how do I get into the lifestyle?
Have somebody like this that knows everything about him, because I knew absolutely nothing about camping and RVing, and he knows a lot. So
as you coming into it, share some like somebody that's looking to buy an RV. What did you look at? What did you like
about the RV itself,
or the
lifestyle?
The lifestyle.
It's a little bit of freedom. We're not stationary. We can move around and see different things.
Yeah, because we did sell our house.
Yeah,
this is our house.
We sold it last year, so.
And we're
okay.
That was different. So it's kind of a pain to downsize, and we still have a, what's it called?
Storage unit.
Storage unit full of stuff that we probably need to still get rid of, but.
Yeah, it's things. You got to learn things, and I'm bad about that because I had all my Harley Davidson collection. I went from a big room that was custom made for all my Harley stuff to neatly boxing it and putting it in storage and paying a couple $100 a month for that stuff, and guess where it still is?
Still in storage.
So it's not like I'm going to sell it and I might recoup, but
you won't after all the storage you've been paying.
Yeah,
it's expensive, and it's just a bunch of stuff. So
it's material stuff.
It's hard to downsize, but we're getting there.
Yep. And once you realize, like, if people are starting from a house to an RV, because we go from a big house to 390 square feet, and you realize that things, material things, some of those are not as important anymore because they're just there. But here's what's important, what's here and in here. So if you can carry that along with you. Me, I have CRS, so I have to can't remember. So I have to think about my memories.
What does CRS stand for?
Can't remember.
Oh, okay.
The S word.
Okay.
This is a family show. So all my memories I've got to really work on. So, but yeah, that was one thing, because when you go RVing, as like I call them weekend warriors, nothing wrong with that. You go camping and you go home to reality.
Which we did for about 5 years.
Yep.
First.
Yep.
Yeah.
We'd go camping, long weekends, longer weekends. Put in the back of your mind, you're going to go home and park the RV at the house, maybe change some stuff back into the house, and go back into your bricks and sticks and feel secure. We sold the house, and I even drive differently because this, like you, right? This is our home, and everything we own is in this box on wheels.
It's not a toy anymore. It's our home.
Yeah, so in my mind, I think differently. Like when I used to drive a certain way, I don't do that anymore, because if something happens to this, what do? Right? So I love it. I've the freedom that you get, and my biggest thing is people that you meet, right? Just like you. I've watched your videos for all this time, and we're at the show, and I'm like, there's Tom, no way, hey Tom, and boom, and he's just like you see him on TV. He's awesome. So and you just get to meet all walks of life, and that's what's really cool. Like, so at our resort, people come in a pop-up, right? They're family, and then you'll have someone pull up next to them in a Prevost. But at our tiki bar and community fire pits that we have, Mr. Pop-Up Man and Mr. Prevost Man are sitting next to each other at the fire pit. They don't know each other than they're camping, they're having a margarita, and they're having a great time, and hey, we're gonna go back home, and here he goes to his Pop-Up and he goes to his Prevost. Doesn't matter, because they just made a friendship. This guy might be retired, did well, he worked hard. This guy's working hard, and he'll do well down the street, and that's what you call goals, right? So that's one thing that I love about the RV community. It doesn't matter what you're camping in, who you are. I love it, and we're very lucky because we live inside the resort. That's our home, so we get to see 400 plus new friends / guests come into the resort, and we see all different walks of life, if you will, and no one's better than the next guy, right? So,
well, some people are happy with their pop-ups and
right.
their smaller campers. Some people don't want this because this doesn't fit into a lot of places. So,
right,
yeah,
but everybody gets to have the same experience when they're
Right.
camping.
Yeah,
right. No matter if you're in a pop-up or a fifth wheel,
whatever your preference.
yeah, and that's what it is. That's why they make a pop-up, a motorhome, Class C, pusher,
Right.
and different tow vehicles.
Do you guys mind showing us around, the viewers, a little bit about what's really cool and unique about this particular RV, and maybe even some of the upgrades that you've done?
Yeah, well, back here, as you know, it's the model number is a 390 RKR, And as I said before, everything is down because today's travel day.
Sure.
And we go back to Fantasyland. But, we've
Well, I go back to work tomorrow.
yeah.
Well, I've been working remotely, which is awesome, but gotta go back to the office now.
Oh, okay.
Just for a few days a week.
3 days a week.
Okay. It's not too bad.
Yeah, so we, minor things. We just changed out a couple bar stools, and here in the kitchen, like we entertain a lot, so friends come over. We've had 11 people in here eating dinner because I'll smoke out and cook out on the Blackstone, and in Florida a rain pops up. We've had 11 people in here, and in the kitchen, on the bar, down in the living room. The TV's going because you can see the TV from here if we're cooking or doing something up here.
Yeah.
You can still see in there, and you're in a different room, but you can still have a conversation with those folks down there, up here, and then you're in an elevated rear kitchen. So some people think elevated, you lose ceiling height. Well, I'm 6'3". No, I'm just kidding. I'm 5'9", and we have got some serious headroom. You're talking
right. I have no issue here. Yeah. Yeah.
So
I mean, this is
you
plenty
still,
of space here.
Yep, and you still get a lot of headroom.
It's got a lot of cabinets. I like the extra island in the middle.
Right.
It's nice. A lot of counter space.
We can do a lot of prep work here, and having the residential refrigerator, that's just like, that's a game changer. That's like you're at home. And then we've got a pantry, and this is one cool thing, about the pantry here. You open this up, and you have these drawers that pull out.
Oh, nice.
And when you close them, they're on a slow close.
Okay.
And I'm telling you, so we spoke about the suspension that we have on this, the independent suspension, and knowing that this is a rear kitchen and the refrigerator is all the way on the back wall. Sometimes you have plates that get moved around, a broken egg or two or 10. These doors don't open, and we don't put latches.
We put a latch on this.
Yeah, we just lock this.
And we put a bungee cord on it.
Yeah.
It has bounced open in the past.
Yeah.
Okay.
Before the independent rear suspension was on.
It might not do it now, but I'm not taking a chance.
Yeah. Because before the independent rear suspension, this popped open because, again, it was new to us. We spec'd it out. It was new. It was our first trip. I don't think we even used this lock because I didn't see it. And every nice thing that was in here was all on the floor. And
the door was stuck on the slide, remember?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I didn't think to come in and, look around the slide. So the buttons are right there by the door. So I'm hitting the rooms to come out. And I'm like, why is this room having a hard time? So, like always, push the button harder. It's gotta go out. So I come up here and looked, and there was cans of stuff and a can of, I think, mustard. What happens when you squeeze a can of mustard?
Yeah, it gets caught in the slide, and then
was beautiful. So that was before the independent rear suspension. So now we just put a bungee cord on here, and just because, but nothing back here moves. We even use the Emerald Lagasse air fryer here.
Okay.
That's where that sits, and as you see, it's free. It's freestanding. We don't tie it down, and it sits right there. It doesn't move during travel. So, rear kitchen is awesome. I love it. Over the momentum that we're going to get with the toy hauler, and then having the living room. We'll step down here. This is the living room, and as it comes from the factory new, you have 3 couches in here, 2 opposing and 1 in each slide. We don't need to seat 9 people, right? It's just Nina and I. So COVID and then all that, so Nina got to work at home, and I work at home from time to time. So in this slide on the door side, we took out the couch and created his and her desk.
Okay, that's very cool.
And these chairs, This is another thing that floors me about the suspension. These are freestanding chairs. These desks are freestanding. They're not mounted.
Okay.
They don't move.
And I don't mount them. When we're traveling, these things stay right there. They do not move. And on our way here, we had stuff on this pull-out tray.
Some of that fell off.
Yeah. So, but all the stuff around the back shelf, it stayed. So now we can work and how our RV is positioned back at the resort.
Got a nice view.
Big picture window. It's
I used to sit up there and work, which is nice too, because I could watch TV, in the background, and so that's initially what I liked that bar for.
Okay.
To work at.
Yeah, because she has 2 monitors, so she can put that up on the bar and just.
But I like this better because it gets all that stuff off of there, and we can use that for what it's supposed to be, to eat at, and doesn't look cluttery with office stuff all over it.
Yeah.
Okay. And where did you find these desks?
Wayfair.
Okay.
And the chairs.
Yeah, and the wood grain kind of goes with what we already have, so that was a plus.
Yeah, it looks like it matches.
And these fold. They fold up.
Yeah, these are it goes this way, right?
Yeah.
So
okay.
These go like this.
So I wanted nice looking chairs, but ones that we could get out of the way if we needed to.
There you go.
Right. And what we'll do is we'll put links for as many of these things down below in the description and the pinned comment as well. So we have quite a few people that will watch, our RV tours and say, where did they get that? Like, we want to find that.
Yeah.
Send that to Tom, text it to him, or whatever.
Yeah, I love it. It's
yeah,
perfect.
The other thing that we've got coming is here between the 2 desks. That's 12 inches, so we have a drawer system coming in.
Okay.
It's not going to go above the window frame, so that'll be cool. So we can actually store stuff in there.
Office things or whatever.
And then we have 2 4-legged kids.
We got 3.
Okay.
Well, yeah.
2 and an adopted kind of one.
Yeah, so in the resort...
Foster. He's a foster.
A foster.
Okay.
So somebody brought us a dog in the resort thinking that one of our guests' dog got away, and we have a pen outside. Can we put him in the pen? Sure. The dog didn't come from
He's
a
still
guest.
here.
And that was before Christmas.
He's a good dog. He's a really good dog, but it's a lot of work for me. So
Sure.
plus he's got heartworms and hookworms and whipworms, and I'm treating him for that. So.
Oh, wow.
So somebody will get an awesome little dog when that happens.
He gets along good with our dog, so I'll feel bad about that. But
yeah. Okay.
So she, they're hers, has a Westie and a
Cairn Terrier.
Yep.
And he's like a Min Pin Chihuahua mix of some sort.
And where are they now?
They're outside in the pen.
Oh, okay. We'll get a look at them here in a moment.
Because you would get a bath if you were in here with the licks. They're outside.
Hey, puppy. All the RV dogs.
Pebbles, Paisley, and this is Rusty.
Oh, okay. Rusty and Pebbles and Paisley.
Yeah.
Oh, well, they're all RV-sized dogs.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm a good boy. I just need a new home. There's a lot. I walk him normally, and then I'll bring him back, and then I'll walk them.
Okay, so Rusty's looking for a new home, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, that won't be hard to do, will it?
See his little nub wagging?
Yeah.
He's a happy guy. I don't want to take him to the shelter because that'll stress him out. So
right.
I'm hoping to find somebody on my own.
Okay. Well, cool.
Yes. But they all get along so well. They play great together.
Okay.
So he may end up staying, but it's a lot of work for me.
Right. Yeah. I mean, just one puppy is a lot of work, and 3.
Yeah. So those are my kids.
So me, I like to have everything away in room, right? Because this is a nice living room. Come in, sit down, no clutter. Now, I remind you, we're travel day, so things are put away. So what we have in the middle, this is a nice little piece where this opens up, and you have storage in there. You can sit on it. This moves real easy when the rooms come in. So with the dogs, mind you, this doesn't belong here, but we have...
It's extra for our guests.
Yeah,
Sure.
our guest dog, so that's his little area. But when we're camping and we're living in this thing full time, I didn't want dog cages out on the floor. So our neighbor, when we used to own a house, does custom cabinetry work. He's the one, my buddy Rich, built our mantle. That 10 people can sit on that thing. That is amazingly strong. And the slides still move in. We were like one of the first ones, I think, in this model to put a mantle on. And at Christmas, it looks awesome. But anyway, so this is where
Look at
Pebbles
that.
and Paisley.
I love it.
Wow.
This is
Their
their
little cave.
room. And
That
pardon,
is awesome.
Pardon all this stuff on here. Like I said, we're
No
moving
worries, travel day.
But you see all this stuff on here. It stays there. It doesn't fall off. It's just awesome.
When we travel.
We don't have to like pack
Yeah.
it away. It just stays there. So anyway, each
Yeah,
dog has its own
look at
little
that.
entrance into their cave. And check this out. My buddy did this. So they've got
Cute.
their own little doors. And where the wood split here, look at what he put a little dog bone in the wood.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, so instead of having dog toys and dog beds and dog cages all out in
And
the
they
floor.
love it. It's their little den.
Yep. So their beds and their toys.
And the top opens, and we can put, when we're traveling, we put things in there, like
Oh, okay.
the fan and stuff for
Yeah.
storage.
So we had this made off of Etsy.
Yeah, I think it was Etsy, yeah.
So we did kind of similar colors. In the light it looks different, but kind of matches. And then you can pick
Oh,
this up.
yeah.
It
And
needs
then
a
this
handle.
lid.
We're not quite done with it yet, but
Nice.
Yeah, it's on struts. It'll come up so that way we can pack, tall things in there when we have to move. But that's one of the
When you don't need the extra couch, right?
yeah, because you can lay on the foam that we chose is like a 3 or 4 layer foam, so you can sit on this thin and not bottom out because of the foam. Put a little pillow here,
yeah, it's a
lay,
bit
watch the
for people to
TV,
sit on, yeah.
and then put big pillows here. You can actually sit on it.
Yeah.
More people to sit.
Almost like a day bed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
And we've also seen people put like a desk in
Right.
here too.
Oh yeah, people
Lots
are
of
getting
options.
creative because camping has changed. So many people can work at home. Like Nina and myself, and you don't need to seat 19 people. You can have options. And this year I saw, coming from the factory in a 390 on the door side, there is a desk. From
Okay.
The factory.
Yeah, I've heard some of the manufacturers are starting to do that with all the people that are working from the road.
Yeah, it's a lifestyle change because you can do it. Thank you to the internet, right?
Right.
And that's other options that I've seen in other manufacturers too, is internet. And the one fifth wheel I saw has, the longer area on the pin box with a bigger slide up front. You walk past the bathroom and you go into an office now, up on the pin box.
Okay.
So it has the big windshield.
That's cool.
Yeah, that was kind of cool.
Who does that?
I think it was Montana. that has
Okay.
that. The front office and the big windshield and cabinets on this side, and you just go up and it's a little nook area with a desk.
Yeah, we're looking around, we're shopping,
Right.
and, for another option than what we've got now. So I'll have to look for that in the show.
Montana.
Okay.
And they're in the little building over here. So
Okay.
that was kind of cool. The typical standard floor plans of these things are changing because of how we use them, and some manufacturers listen and adapt to what they're told over the years. So yeah.
Cool. And speaking of internet, what do you do for internet?
Right now we're yes, she works at home, and yes, we stay stationary for right now a lot. So we do have awesome Wi-Fi in the resort.
Okay.
But she has secure networks. What do you work on?
I use my hotspot on my phone right now.
And then we have
We have the modem, but it's not secure and it's slow, so I don't use it. I'm looking
What
for
service do
something
you
else.
have?
I I think
We have
it's
Verizon.
Okay.
Yeah, for my phone, I use Verizon hotspot,
Okay.
and it works good for work for what I do.
Yeah, but we talked to a gentleman. He was explaining to us how that Starlink works, and that was an option. But I'm looking.
You were looking at Uconnect, but I don't want to spend that much money on equipment.
Yeah, Uconnect. They have different options,
But I want to look at the
Good, better,
Verizon
best.
Business. There's a Verizon Business thing that I want to look at. I don't know what it is, but
And then there's the T-Mobile plan out there too, if you've heard of that.
No, you can maybe tell us.
I
On
think
the
that's what
backside.
we have, T-Mobile, on our modem.
The yellow.
I don't know. I don't use it, so I don't know. I don't remember what it is. It changed. It's
Sprint.
through the Motor Coach Association thing.
Yeah.
So
Family Motor Coach.
Oh, FMCA.
yeah, it's one of their.
It's
Offerings.
AT&T right now. We have that
Okay.
as well. We've got
Okay.
4 different options or
I
something.
know it
like that.
changed at some point, and I just haven't really been using it because it doesn't work with my. It doesn't connect through my office. However that works, because I don't know internet
Sure.
stuff.
That's one thing that when I talk to people that work on the road is if you're going to work on the road, you have to have more than one source of internet, because if you got to be logged on 9 to 5 or whatever, have a second and third source, have a satellite if you can, like Starlink, but have like a Verizon and AT&T as well, just in
A
case.
variety, yeah.
So
I want something that works in the woods, which I don't know if there is anything that would work, like in Vogel State Park,
Yeah. That was a
something
dead
like
spot.
that. I don't
Yes.
know if there's anything that would actually work in a setting like that.
When we get ready to hit the road, I'll call you.
Sounds
Figure out
good.
somebody that's already done it and knows what to do. See, that's what's great about the community.
Exactly.
You don't know, pick up the phone or send a message and find out.
Somebody has figured it out
Yeah.
or has tried it and found what doesn't work. And,
Right.
and what's been your biggest challenge so far with RV living?
Downsizing for me.
Yeah, I would say because I had all my collectibles and cars. I have to find a spot for I have a 39 Chevy Street Rod that I have to store that again in a barn out
Which
of
we
the
don't
weather.
have.
So I have to go to a storage facility and get a 10 by 20 and pay storage again. So I would think that would be one of the biggest.
Mm-hmm.
And again, we're very fortunate. We live in fantasy land at
Yeah, we're pretty stationary right
Margaritaville.
now.
So there we have an area for us to store some of our bigger items that we didn't bring here. That would be it. I
And
think
mine
for
is
us.
maybe because I'm an introvert, so I used to go home and be in my cave and not talk to anyone until the next morning.
Right.
And now this person came along and he talks to everybody, so I'm learning that lifestyle slowly.
I'm very
Okay.
happy that she's standing here talking to
Oh, yes. Thank you. Yeah, thank you for agreeing to be on camera. And,
Oh
and,
yeah,
and
this
there-
makes me happy that she's. And then when we go to our booth in the RV show, she's talking to strangers. So
Yeah.
one
That's a newbie
positive
for
thing, is she is out with people and talking and communicating, and it just makes me happy that she's getting out there, because that was the thing at home.
I never even knew my neighbors, and I lived there for 21 years, so.
Oh, wow.
Well, I will share about Cheri and I. We're introverts as well. I know it doesn't seem that way, but we, for the camera, we'll be, hey, how's it going? And then we get tired, and we're like, we turn in. We're not out every night here at the show. We're like, we are getting our rest, and so we're not naturally outgoing.
Right.
But certainly doing YouTube has
Helped us get out of that a little bit. So,
Sure.
yeah.
Oh yeah,
That's
because
cool.
you meet the folks that have YouTube channels, and like you said, all go on camera and bubbly and stuff like that, and there needs to be a time for downtime. I need to find that switch.
He needs to learn that part because he doesn't know that very well.
Rob has no off switch, huh?
No.
He doesn't.
I'll talk to somebody. I mean, if a wall will listen to me, I'll talk to him, right?
He does.
But, you know, I just find people and they have cool things, you know, like you got some cool stories and been places. And now with the truck, you know, everybody wants to come and talk to me about the truck. Well, heck yeah, I'm going to talk to you.
Why do they call you the mayor?
Oh, that started out as a spoof.
Same reason, because he talks to everybody.
Yeah. So I had a bunch of my friends from Sarasota County Fire and Police, Sheriff's Office there, when we were new, underneath our private name called Cabana Club. And, you know, people come up and ask, where's this? How do you get here? This. And I'm just an information station. And the fire chief says, man, you're like the damn mayor around here. I'm like, okay. And then one of the owners were there and says, mayor, what's that? I said, well, he's a fire chief, and at every big firehouse, you have one guy in the station that knows how much sugar is in the cabinet, who needs new sheets, and how many are working today, you know, all these things. And he says, welcome, mayor. So that's pretty much how it started, and it was a spoof, I think, and it turned out to be something magnificent because all the kids, you know, from 3 to whatever, they knew who the mayor is, and if there's a problem or they get lost, because, you know, some kids get lost and they can't find their daddy, they come to the mayor's house, or they call our site the city hall. Just go to City Hall and see the mayor, and it's become a beautiful thing. A lot of people know me as the mayor and the Mrs. Mayor. And,
cool.
So a lot of people, you know, with YouTube come in and we talk, and people come by to see the mayor and that kind of thing.
He cooks for everybody.
Yeah. Oh, I love cooking. So.
Yeah. He just has big cookouts and come on over.
Yeah, so I like people.
What's one of your favorite, or a couple of your favorite campsites?
So when we travel, you mean campgrounds like that?
Sure.
Creekwood Farm.
Creekwood
In
Farm.
Waynesville, North Carolina.
Yeah.
That's our second home.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Creekwood
Farm. One farm, no S.
No S. Creekwood Farm. And T and Jennifer and their whole team there. It's just like when you pull in, you have another family. The setting is beautiful. You're on a creek, so you can back your RV up to a creek. There's no pool or anything like that because you have nature around you. Cataloochee Ski Resort is right close by. You can go up to Cataloochee and see all the elks every night. The creek. You're by Asheville. You're close to
Gatlinburg, Pigeon Forge.
Yeah.
It's not far away, so it's just a nice place.
We've been to Creek Fire.
Creek Fire's nice.
In Savannah. Skidaway in Savannah. And believe it or not, we could fit this in there.
I used to like Anastasia State Park in St. Augustine, but we can't take this in there.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think the sites are big enough, but you can't get to the
There's
site.
2 sites that instead of pulling in around the circles, you have to be creative, and they don't say the site, but I could back in down the road and back into the site because it's longer. You know, having the rig that you'll see in a little bit, you know I've boxed myself out of some of the places that we used to like to go because of our size. But on the positive side, that's going to make us go to other places that we haven't been before.
What's the one we went to in Ocala? That's one of my favorite. Not Ocala, I don't know. The one with the spring. Salt Springs.
Oh, Salt Springs.
We can still get into Salt Springs. That one's really big.
Yeah, Salt Springs is on the east side
That's a good
of
one.
Ocala National Forest. Big, huge sites.
That's a favorite.
Okay.
And
There's bears there.
Yep,
so.
there's bears. So
Oh.
tighten down your garbage at night. Huge sites. I mean, we'll be able to fit this thing in there. And the roadways, how you get to your site are big. And the springs are beautiful. So it looks like a pool. They've got cement walkways with hand railings down into the water.
You can take a boat or rent a boat.
Yeah, because Lake George is right there. Yeah, and that's on the east side of Ocala National Forest. And then Stone Mountain. I might be able to get into the new F section.
Yeah.
With this. But Stone Mountain's another really nice park. Stay in the park. There's so much to do. You can walk up to the top of Stone Mountain, or you can take one of the like a ski lift, but it's enclosed a gondola thing, like over at Ober-Gatlinburg and Gatlinburg.
Compass and St. Augustine is nice too. We would fit in there.
Yeah.
Compass RV Resort, I think it's called.
That's in St. Augustine. I think Sun RV bought them out. So it's a Sun RV property now. And they got buddy sites, really nice buddy sites. So if any of you people are traveling with a friend, oh, speaking of buddy sites, we have buddy sites too.
Oh, okay.
With a tiki in the middle.
Oh,
And
yeah.
in the tiki, we have a TV and a fan and water, sink, and...
You are talking Cheri's language. She loves tikis. So,
we have...
and she loves her Jeep, too.
Yeah, because you're going to have to see how we call our Jeep.
Right.
She might not have to travel behind you anymore.
Yeah, that would be that'd be a big change from the F450.
Yep, and it's comfortable, as you'll see in a little bit. It's a comfortable ride.
The bathroom's nice because we each have a sink.
Yes, the dual sink in here, so, and the shower is awesome too. The space that they have, yeah.
Yeah, it's a big
It's
walk-in.
comfortable.
Yeah.
And then the bedroom here, as you see, it's travel day.
It's travel day, yeah.
Yeah, and another cool thing again, you know, all this stuff on this bed. And these are all decorations and stuff that, you know, are out in the living room and stuff.
Sure.
Nothing moves.
Okay.
It's just amazing.
I put clothes out because I have a lot and I don't want to break the closet. So.
Okay.
Yeah, because that's the whole cap. So the Grand Design, you know, has all that storage up there, and they put the storage into the cap versus dead space up there. So, you know, the radius cap out there, it's a deep storage. One thing, when I had the Ram, I was afraid of pin weight, and back then I didn't put the washer dryer in here.
Okay.
So that's my closet.
Okay.
And
I was going to ask you about that.
yeah, that I was all afraid of pin weight back in the day, that I was going to be over and be too heavy for my truck.
But that's where it would go.
Oh, right.
And I'm like a woman with my Hey Dude shoes, as you can see. I've got a little thing of Hey Dudes.
Oh, man.
That's a lot of money right there.
There's even room for all your shoes.
Gotta house the Hey Dudes. So
It's comfortable.
that's one thing. If I had to do it again, that would be maybe one thing that I do put in here is a washer dryer.
Okay.
And you got the new mattress, the Brooklyn bedding mattress.
Yeah, and we're not sponsored by them or any since. But let me tell you, the Brooklyn bedding. I think we got the Aurora.
I don't know what we got.
It was
but it's thick.
it's thick. I mean, you can see.
Yeah, and that's also called RV Mattress by Brooklyn Bedding,
Yes.
right?
Yeah, it's a
Okay.
King. This is a
RV
King.
King.
RV King.
Okay.
Which they do make that size RV King, because an RV King is, I think, shorter. Same width. It's got to be shorter to come in, you know, because of the slide. But, wow, that is very comfortable. When she gets out of bed, I don't even know if she leaves, vice versa. And
Okay.
it's very comfortable.
It
And
is.
yeah, so.
It's very heavy, though.
Oh, yeah, that'll add up.
That was a job getting it in here.
Okay.
That was, I bet you, I don't know, it felt like, I don't know,
A lot.
150 pounds.
Okay, so get some help when
Yeah.
the mattress gets delivered.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it took both of us to put it in here, and then you cut the bag and
It's cool because it's all
Oh,
real
it
tight.
opens up.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's real tight,
Yeah.
and then it just
it balloons out,
Yeah.
and you roll it out, and then boom, it's there, and it's awesome. And yeah, if I had my Ram truck, I'd be like, oh my God, it's too heavy. But as you'll see, my tow vehicle, we don't worry about that anymore. But I'm
Very
still
cool.
underneath the frame weight on the trailer, so.
Okay.
But yeah, so this is the master bedroom, and again, it's roomy too in here to have a king size bed, walkable on each side, a lot of room on that side. So
Very cool. Yeah, I can take a
a
little
lot of
look
room.
over here. Oh yeah, that is some room to get around a bed. Many RVs, yeah, you can't do that very easily.
No, I used to have to crawl in our other camper. I'd have to crawl over because there was nowhere to walk.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was one of the criteria when we got this, or any, is, you know, you don't think about it. You look at it and go, oh, we got a king. Well, how do you get in and out of that thing? Maybe one can get in, and then you got to wake the other one up to get out, right?
Right.
Or a double bed, whatever. So that's important. I always think about in and out of the bed. Can you do it on each side? Yeah.
And how long is this RV?
44.
Okay.
Right at 44.
Okay.
And then, so this is a Solitude, and we only have 2 airs in this one. Everybody is so far, and we live in Lakeland, and we full time in this, and in our resort we have no shade. It's Margaritaville. We don't have oak trees and stuff like that.
Okay.
So the temperature change doesn't really get too bad when it's like 106 out. You know, you're up to about 77 degrees with both airs.
Okay.
We don't have the third with the insulation on this thing.
We have a fan. Well, that's what the fan's for. And then I have a temp stick so that when I'm at the office, I don't have to worry about like if the electric goes out and it gets hot in here, it tells me when it gets over a certain temperature because the dogs are in here.
Yep.
So.
Okay.
Yeah.
You've got a monitor then.
Mm-hmm.
Great.
Yeah. That's a good idea to share with people to get some type of
temp stick
that will text you.
Yeah, we can maybe share that link as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
that's important.
Yeah, because that's something you
That's
don't
like
think
leaving
about.
them in a hot car.
exactly.
So.
Yeah.
Because that's one thing, you leave your house. Well, you don't really think about that because it's your house, and in your house everything works all the time, right? So in an RV park you might have a spike in power and your breaker blows because it happens.
Mm-hmm.
And then with that temp stick, she gets a text message to say that the dogs are getting warm.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you have cool neighbors beside you, we have an RV lock on the door where you type in a code. So if we have friends close by, we can do the code, get in there and flip the breaker, and we're back to good again. But
Okay. Any modifications to the AC unit for better airflow at all?
yes, a company called RV Airflow, and I got to meet Eddie at the show, and that's one of those, I'm not techie or whatever installer guy, so I had to buy 2 of them, and what are they, close to $300, right?
Something like that.
So I'm like, man, that's awful expensive for this styrofoam thing. But I bought 2, and I took this down, and I put this thing, you know, because when I do something, I have leftover parts, or I break something, and oh, we've never heard of that complaint before. That's me. So I put this thing up, and I put the cover back on, and I didn't have any screws left over. I'm like, wow, that's cool. So I did the kitchen, the rear kitchen first, and you know, just like here, the air conditioner's right here in your head. I did that, and I turned it on, and the air came out, and then it blew all her papers off the bar, and I just started laughing because number one, I got the job done by myself. I didn't break nothing, no stuff left over, and holy cow, it works. That blew so much air out, and then, you know, I don't know if you can hear it, but it's on right now, and
Yeah,
we're like under it.
it's quiet.
Quiet. I mean, it makes these air conditioners so quiet and run so much more efficiently and cooler. I mean, because, you know, these things are not the most efficient technology. You get a lot of cold air that goes out the return, and I mean, the amount of airflow out of these ducts is unbelievable. And I just sat there and laughed because I'm like, babe, we can't even hear the air anymore. So, and I need that to sleep because I have tinnitus. I need noise, and so I don't get that much noise at all anymore in the bed. So, if I don't know if I can say this, but the RV airflow systems is a game changer.
Yeah, it's like a must-have upgrade. What I'll do is share our installation, and I installed them on all 3 air conditioning units on our Momentum.
Right.
And yeah, easy install, amazing. I think it was between 40 and 50% more airflow. So I'll share that link down below, so those that want to see how easy it is to install.
It's easy, and when you spend whatever the cost was, $200-300 for a styrofoam, you're holding it, and it weighs like 4 ounces. And you're like, really? And you stick this thing in, and again, it works. And then you turn it on, and wow, there's a wow moment. It really works. So, yeah, I even put the sticker up there to remind myself what's the name of the company, because I've shared that with so many of our guests in the resort, because in Florida it's hot, right?
Yes.
And whatever we can do to help stay cooler in here. So once we put these in here, that's what I was saying, the temperature with 2 airs in the Solitude, and we're 44, like your lake, right? Aren't you about that?
But we are shorter than that with 3 air conditioning units.
Okay, yeah.
So
in Margaritaville, it's palm trees, right? We don't have oak trees hanging over your camper for shade. But we're out in the sun every day, and these two, we set it. And like I said, I think the warmest it gets when it's like 106 out, I think down to 77.
Okay.
But when you walk in, 77's cool.
Feels great.
Mm-hmm. And then at nighttime, it drops down to 70 again. So.
Okay.
But it's that right there is an awesome purchase. Yeah. We built this. Took about 2 months to build, and it's a 2012 Volvo. That it was a active commercial truck. Yeah, I got lucky. I found it on Facebook, believe it or not, and bought it off of Facebook. And the gentleman, he was owner number 2. The gentleman that had it before me actually towed a Grand Design Solitude. So we spoke and everything, and I purchased it. And it was your conventional, twin screw axle in the back, which towed the Solitude. But I didn't want to double tow anymore, so come up with this idea. Most people with the HDTs tow their smart cars, and they load it from the side. And I'm not a smart car guy. I came off of a Harley because it's getting a little dangerous out there. So my wife and I switched to Jeeps, and now I can house my Jeep, which is a 2-door Rubicon.
Yeah, this is quite the rig. Probably the most incredible, tow vehicle that I've ever seen. Wow.
It's unique. I did a couple cool little things, like you see the taillight on the Jeep, and then I came down here and had matching taillights.
Okay.
Kind of Frenched in on the rig to match the Jeep, kind of carry the theme. And then back here, under here, I've got 70-gallon black tank, if you will, and on the other side a 70-gallon fresh water. So when my wife and I do take off and do some boondocking, when the black tank gets full, I can pump it to here.
Nice.
When the fresh water gets empty, I can pump it and then use the truck to go get more and drop.
That's awesome. Yeah, the spacecraft rig is doing something like that in there.
Okay,
so.
Yeah. I know David and Sandra do that with Big Travels.
Okay.
They're here with their Volvo, and I believe he's got the same thing. His tanks are a little bit farther up, but yeah, it makes it so much easier. And with the weight of the Jeep and the pin weight of the fifth wheel, you don't even come close to the GVW of the axle. And the other cool thing, people say, "Oh my gosh, you're so long, how do you fit?" Well, with a Volvo, you have a great turning radius with the front end, right? And then notice where the fifth wheel hitch is, way behind the axle.
Sure.
So the 44-foot fifth wheel actually turns and acts like a travel trailer because of the pin being behind the axle. So it reacts a lot quicker, right? So you don't need as much real estate to get the fifth wheel to start turning. So this was the biggie, obviously. And there's so it goes back in the shop tomorrow.
Okay.
To get fully done, because I brought it here to the show, and we left out of the shop at 1:30 Saturday morning.
Okay.
and showed up here Sunday.
Okay.
So I've got these doors. There's all sorts of storage underneath here, and the doors are all operated by air. So I've got storage under here, and then to get up on the Jeep with the steps here, there's going to be a 2-inch chrome rod that comes up. I think it's here. So it'll come up, so I hit a button and air will push it up, and then I'll have a handle here to step up into the Jeep on both sides. These are air actuated where the doors open up like an old Greyhound bus, and then the water tanks, and then I'm having a drum box. They call it a DROM box, drum. My wife wants the chrome stacks to stay, so they're building a box that's going to go in between the stacks and about the 3rd rib up, so it'll be as wide as the stacks, tall, and 14 inches deep.
Wow.
So on most drum boxes, you have your smart car parked here, in this case the Jeep, and most of your drum boxes, the doors open like barn doors, right?
Okay.
So you would have to take the Jeep off or the smart car off to get to your toolbox or whatever may be inside. So we were talking and putting our brains together, and a Ford Ranger was parked out front, so we measured the bed, right? And on a pickup truck, you have the fold-up bed covers, or the ones that roll up in a box. They're aluminum. So I bought a Ranger pickup truck bed. It's aluminum, it rolls up in a box, and then we're going to put the box up on top. It's remote. So now I will have it going up and down instead of horizontal.
Wow.
So now it'll act as my garage door to my storage box with tools and heavy equipment, that kind of thing.
Okay.
So that's got to be put on when it goes back, and there's a couple other cool things. And then I have my stereo guy, and he does a lot of LED stuff. So next step is the interior. That's going to get all redone, and I mean, it's beautiful inside.
I bet.
And so we'll have a nice stereo system and LEDs and all that kind of stuff in there. So looking forward to that one. But up here,
take a look at this thing inside.
so this is what it started as right here.
Oh, okay.
This is my thought, and that's a actual Volvo die cast, and then I saw this at a show, and I told my builder that's what I want to do, but we need a little bit longer extended bed.
I see you've had somebody in here for a long time.
Yeah, Steve's been hanging out back there. That's
Okay.
Skeleton Steve. He hangs out. I have my friends up at Grand Design. They did the graphics for me to match the Solitude. But this thing has got a ton of storage.
Yeah, no
Got
kidding.
storage here, and
Wow.
where you're sitting or standing between the driver's seat and the passenger seat, and you can't even touch the ceiling from there.
Yeah,
You notice the height?
lot of height here. You got a bed right here. Looks like it folds up.
Yeah, it does. It goes like this, and now you have more room.
Look
Windows.
at that.
You got windows on each side, and then my wife works, from her computer. We got a little computer station under here, and then we have a porta potty. The TV that mounts here. See, we have cable.
Okay.
The TV's in the fifth wheel, and then here you have.
Oh, I got clothes. Man.
Yeah, we do the winter stuff in there, and then you got storage down below, and here. When we're going down the road, just like a motorhome, right? My wife comes into the refrigerator.
Oh, that's a fridge right there. Look at that.
Right? Nothing in it yet because we're at stationary back at the resort, but refrigerator, and then you have drawers. And up here, you have a microwave and more storage.
Oh my gosh. So
and a mirror to make sure you're looking good. You know what I'm saying?
It is just like a small RV in here. I mean, you've got, almost everything you need.
Oh, yeah. and the room. So, like, when I towed this with the Ram, we could drive about 2 hours, and then the wife would say, oh, I got to get up. My butt hurts or whatever. Here, if we got to use the restroom, it's so comfortable and so much easier to drive as a driver. And I'm not a commercial driver. I've never owned or drove a semi. But as you sit up, in a Class A, the full windshield, and you're above all the other cars, you can see forever. And towing the big rig, the RV, I don't have to worry about brakes or stopping, or strategically where am I putting myself in traffic to stop, because this thing has a 3-stage, it has an auto and then 3-stage engine brake. So, and I only use stage 1 because stage 2 and 3, when you let off the gas, it'll almost put you through the windshield. It's that strong.
Wow.
So my main reason getting this is safety, because, you know, we travel at times a lot, and I don't have to worry about a thing. The seats are on air. They're heated and air conditioned. The cab is on air. The chassis is on air. My fifth wheel, the hitch there is on air. And then I have the MORRIDE hitch pin. And then on the fifth wheel, it's got independent suspension. Yeah, and when I went up there to the factory to get that done, you know, I'm all excited to tow the fifth wheel and see, oh my gosh, it's going to ride so much better. You can't tell behind this truck, okay? So what I did is I stopped in Indiana and I put all these soft goods all over the center island, because we have a rear kitchen. And as you know, rear kitchen has some bounce. Brake eggs, plates, that kind of thing.
Sure.
So I put all these soft goods along the back, and then the center island, and then in the living room I put all these things on top of the counter, because that's the way I'm going to see if it's riding any better. So we stopped 2 hours later, opened the slide, walked to the back, nothing moved. And I was like, wow. It was a wow factor with that suspension. And with the mirrors on this, the other thing, you could see the wheels and tires working, you know, because if you hit a pothole on the left side of the trailer, the right side doesn't know. And looking in the mirror, you could see the wheels, you know, doing their thing, and the box, it's not moving. So if anybody out there is, you know, thinking about independent suspension, and it's 10 months or 8 months out to get it, worth the wait.
I hear people raving about that, like that is like a must-have upgrade. I may have to go talk to the folks at MORRIDE inside here.
It is. I was, you know, I saw the video, obviously, of Chad and Tara doing it with changing lanes, and that started the craze. And I know, so people, you know, come into the resort, you know, they say, hey, do you know how to fix this because a molding fell or something? And then people complain about things breaking in the RV. And I simply say, how long did you travel today? 5 hours. Oh, and we ran through 2 hours of rain. So that box you're towing just went through 5 hours of a earthquake, 2 hours of a hurricane because you're driving at 60 in the wind. I said, and that molding is the only thing that fell off. Not bad, you know. But now with the independent suspension, I did it to take care of the box. I mean, and the ride is good, but I think with that, things inside the box are not going to get damaged as quickly, maybe. But it rides good. So, you know, back to this. It's just a big, safe truck.
Right.
Kind of stuff around the dash, but you know, people say, oh my gosh, it costs so much to operate this thing. Really? I get the same fuel mileage as my Ram.
And what is that?
This goes between 8 and 9 miles to the gallon.
Okay.
And then as I go up in the mountains, it gets better. I've got up to almost 10. Go figure, I don't know, climbing the mountains and, you know, idling down. So the fuel's the same. One cool thing about that is I got 280 gallons on board. So if I find a good deal on diesel, fill it up. And then the other thing, I don't have to stop every 2 hours.
Sure.
And she can get up, walk around. The dogs can walk around. So we're not stopping, and it's so comfortable. Air-conditioned seats, air ride seats. The engine is so quiet, and you don't have any wind noise.
What fuel program do you use?
Help me on that one.
Is it the TSD?
TSD.
Okay.
Yes, TSD, which saves.
When you fill up that much.
Because you fill up, you know, you put, you know, 150 gallons in at $4 something a gallon these days, and you see the price that is on the screen, and then you get your little email and go, whew.
Yeah, that's knocking what, $50, $100 off?
Oh yeah, times. Because
yeah.
we've saved probably $1. I think the biggest one was $1.30 gallon off at one place.
Okay, yeah.
You know, when it was 5 something, big savings, right? And the TSD, how that operates, that's seamless, you know.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, we'll throw a link down below to that program because that's what we use as well.
Oh, yeah.
Well, so going from like empty to filling it up, what would you say that's maxed out at for cost?
I don't run this thing empty.
Right.
I normally go down, maybe down to a quarter, so 280. What do you think for fuel now?
$4.75 maybe, or
well, with
the discount,
TSD,
$4.50 or $4.25.
Yeah, let's do $4.50.
$1,260. Yeah.
So, but you say, oh my gosh, see, well, if you stop every 2 hours and you fill up, do the math at the end of the day.
Right.
So it's like a mortgage payment.
Yeah, so you could probably, fill up once a month, maybe?
Oh, yeah.
Or okay.
Oh, yeah, with what we do. And me, I don't like keeping my tanks empty because of water, condensation being here in Florida.
Sure.
Temperature change. So I always have my tanks full. And I'm lucky I have a TA with the TSD card, close by. And they say, it's not good to let these things sit. So once a week, because we live at Camp Margaritaville in Auburndale.
Okay.
Once a week, I hop in it, and then there's some kids in the resort that want to ride in the big truck, Billy Big Rig. So we strap them all in, because up here's got straps, and here's all got seat belts. So the parents let me take them for a ride, and we go for an hour drive.
Oh, I bet they love that.
Oh, man, yeah. Because that's something, they're 7, 9, even 15-year-old kids. When are they going to ride in a semi?
Right.
And Volvo is one of the safest big trucks around. They're crash rated, and we even got airbags in here. The sleeper's got roll bars, built into the construction of this Volvo.
Can you share the cost of it?
Of what it did cost?
Sure. Used, right?
Yeah, used you can really get a good deal because, this truck has now been pictured on many different social media pages and stuff like that, and the comments I get, man, this guy's got more money than brains, it's overkill, it's, all the negative nannies out there.
Sure.
You can get one of these actually less than a new pickup truck.
Really?
In some cases, yes.
Okay.
And if you buy one of these, if an owner-operator, which I was very lucky with this truck, it was an owner-operator, he owned this and his trailer. So it was very well taken care of.
It's been babied.
Yes.
So, great.
And most of the trucks, if you get a fleet truck that has all the records, and you've seen all the oil changes and everything like that, it might have 500,000 or 600,000 miles on this thing. But what they equate those 100,000s of miles to is like a Ram truck. For every 100,000 miles on this truck is like 10,000 miles on a pickup.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you could see one for sale for 600,000, 700,000 miles, and you go, "Whoa, it's half wore out."
Right.
No,
it's half broke in.
Right. And here's the other thing of cost. So you have a Ford, right?
Right.
And you tow your fifth wheel. And how often do you change your oil?
About every 10,000 miles.
Right. So on this one, at 50,000 miles, you send your oil in for a sample.
Okay.
Okay. Then they come back and say, well, maybe just change your oil filters. That's pretty much all you need to do, and add a quart.
Really?
Oh, yeah. So people say, oh, it's cost so much. Not really, because you're changing your oil, and so, me with my Ram, I change it every 5,000 miles when I was towing. So every 5,000 miles, I'm spending how much? A couple $100?
Yeah, it's $200 to $300. Yeah.
So you have 3 gallons. I had 3 gallons in my Ram with the 6.7. This is a 16-liter.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's like 3 times the size of our pickup truck engine. 16-liter, and it takes 13 gallons of oil.
Wow. So when you do change it, what's that set you back?
So I get it done in North Carolina, and the oil change up there, the last time I did it, was just under 400.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Okay, not bad.
So there's another, I didn't know. Exactly. You think it's big, it's going to cost big money. So here's another thing, your tires.
Right.
How many miles do you get out of your miles on your Ford?
Oh, they've got the Continentals on there, and I only got 20,000 on the truck, so I'm not sure.
Okay.
You know what it's gonna,
Right.
what they're gonna do. I really don't know.
Most get, I would think a fair number. I mean, on mine, I got just up to 50,000 miles on my Ram.
Okay.
And you know, you're towing, so the tires get wore out quicker, right? So I think it's fair to say 40 to 60,000 miles, you replace your 6 tires. This, I'm going to have to replace the tires when they get 6 years old.
Yeah, they'll age out faster.
You're not going to wear these tires out. This truck is designed to tow up to 100,000 pounds with the engine, and this is an automatic transmission. All you do is put your foot on the gas, just like your truck, and it's got 12 speeds, and it's the I-12. So most of the time it takes off in 4th gear, 6th, 9th, 11th, and 12th. And then if I'm on a hill, it might take off in 2 and go 3, 4, 5, 7, 9, 12. The intelligent 12-speed, and it knows the angle you're on, the weight you're pulling, and the transmission adapts to your travels that day.
So back to the oil. So
Yeah.
what do you think is typical for how long you would go between an actual oil change?
Well, the guys told me with what I'm doing with the truck, it tows a big whopping, 20,000 pounds with my Solitude. This engine doesn't even know that it's working. So the guys up there says, just, when you reach around 50,000 miles, send us an oil sample. Then we'll analyze that to tell you how much metal or etc. is in your oil. And we'll tell you, change it, just change your oil filters, add 2 quarts, and that's every 50,000, he told me. And that's a reputable diesel power up in North Carolina. They're awesome. And so that's what they say. So the fuel mileage, same as my Ram. Tires, every 6 years. Oil changes are spaced out a little bit more, right? And then the parts on this thing. I watched another HDT YouTube family. He did brakes. He bought the big, massive drum, right? For the front brakes. This big, massive drum, $207 and the brakes were like $50.
Oh wow!
I'm like, you do that for your Ford truck? Ow, it's expensive. And then I had a air, and I'm still learning. I'm not a truck driver, but I am learning what I'm driving with the air brake situation. So there's a device in the back that air comes to and sends out. Well, that went bad. And in the resort, a truck driver says, what are you working on? I says, well, I'm learning. I'm watching YouTube videos. And it says, replace this. He goes, oh yeah, that device does this. And I got taught. I called a place in Lakeland. Yeah, we got one of those. I'm thinking $200, I said, you got one? I said, yeah, we got one in stock. I said, how much is that? $34.95. Right? So I raced down there, and the air hoses, you push pin or push in and it comes out, and that's all it was. One bolt, put it in and just push the air lines in, and 10 minutes it was done. And I'm sure there's expensive things, maybe in the engine, just like a engine in a Ford, that could be expensive. But we've been blessed with this thing so far. It is just, you just stick the key in it and it starts and you run. And one nice thing is, if you're just going to spend the night on the road, you don't need a campground, and you're going to take off the next morning, this thing's got a high idle, so it's idle safe. High idle, you can sleep down here or up there. Yeah, just like in an RV, right? It goes down to a bed. This sleeps, this comes down. Watch TV. The air conditioner in here, you can hang meat in this place.
Okay.
So you got air up there on the dash, and then there's controls over here that operate all the air conditioner over here. So the air is always moving in here. Yeah, so
I assume you'll just do like a rest stop sometimes.
Yeah, like a rest stop.
Okay.
It's a safe, well lit, and
do they let you in a harvest host with this?
I personally haven't been there yet, but I've watched David and Sandra.
Okay.
He puts his, and he's got a spacecraft. His was I don't know, close to 50 feet long, and it's a big trailer, and he's got the same same truck I have, they're out west, and they did a harvest host hop where they went to like 7 harvest hosts in a week.
Really?
And, yeah, the one, they had to cut down some trees. The host there was amazing because they got out and cut trees and branches down to get the truck around the turn. And then the one place they stayed, they drove down a golf course down the fairway.
Oh my gosh.
Parked him on a lake. And yeah, so I've been watching him and learning, because all my friends are like, oh man, you boxed yourself out with this big, massive truck and blah, blah. So, they get in my head, and I've been RVing my whole life, so.
Okay.
And I know we owned an RV dealership and all that kind of stuff, so I've been in the business. So, you get to talking to negative people, and might get in your head. But how this is with, like I said before, the pin box all the way to the rear turns like a travel trailer, and it's a lot easier. But I'm watching those guys travel, all over. So that's what I'm looking forward to, is when I pull up with this and they're like, I don't think you're going to fit. Hold my unsweet pure leaf tea, not my beer. Watch this.
Watch it.
Yeah. But,
very cool.
Yeah, it's been a great truck to have, and it's very comfortable to travel in, and you're not tired at the end of the day. And it's safe. It's really safe.
Well, it's really something that, again, if you're doing a quick overnight, that you'll just stay in here. You don't even have to get into the RV, pop out any slides, right. Or that is convenient.
Yeah,
for sure.
If you obviously wake up in the morning, you want to take a shower or go before you go to bed, well, you just hop out this door, go back to the fifth wheel, and how ours is designed, you can get to the shower bathroom without moving a slide in or out. So just take a quick shower, come back here, and if you got to go tinkle in the middle of the night, we've got that in here too.
You got the little
the little cassette, right?
Okay.
So just a little quickie.
Good deal.
And that's fun while you're driving. For her. Hold on, babe. But this thing's all air ride, so it's very comfortable. And then, when I take the window covers off, it's really bright in here, and it's just a wonderful thing. Here's a little. You say, how do you get up there? Check this out. This is a Volvo deal.
Oh, okay. Cool? Yeah.
So you walk up the steps, and this hooks up to a connector on the bed when it's down. And this I think is ingenious. They should put these in the fifth wheels nowadays, right?
Right.
Instead of having a freestanding ladder that you got to store.
Right.
You never knew that was there. So you pull this bed down, and it's on shocks. Boop. And then you do this, and then this goes.
Oh, yeah, definitely. They should be putting that on the toy haulers.
Right. So you're not gonna, even when you're going down the road, that's not gonna come apart. And then, on the commercial side, if you're team driving, have a driver 1, driver 2. Driver 1's driving, number 2 is sleeping. Up in the ceiling, you have these connections, and there's a huge net that covers this in case if you get into a crash. This is all crash rated. You see?
Oh, I see. Okay.
So you can
literally be strapped in while you're sleeping and be safe if the worst happens.
Right. And even have the construction of this condo cab, they call it.
Okay.
It's safe for that too. So, and the stereo system in here, you got 2 speakers up there, and then you have the 2 speakers down here. You got 4 speakers in the door, 2 in the dash. I mean, this sounds like beautiful in here. But you can see, back here, if people are interested in, in getting an HDT. I mean, look at this is all solid steel with the bed framing and how you get strapped in. I mean, this thing it's a semi.
Where did you find it?
On Facebook.
Okay.
Believe it or not, I was on Facebook. I had to go out to Texas to pick up a couple police cars for the other business that I have, and I'm a manufacturer's rep for Sound Off Signal, that we put emergency lighting on police cars around the country and around the world. So we had the Police Fleet Expo out in Richmond, Virginia, and Fort Worth Police Department had 2 show cars. One was a wrapped Challenger that was beautiful, had all the end of watch officers' dates, the fallen officers on the trunk for a tribute car. I had to go to Texas to take those to Richmond and then back. And the 2 nights before I left, I was on Facebook looking, and the HDT page for RVing came up. I clicked on it, and there was a silver Volvo. I'm like, I haven't seen a silver one in a while. And I scroll up, and for sale. What? I look up a little bit more, and he's towing a Grand Design Solitude. I'm like, what? So this was like at 10:20 at night. I messaged the guy. I said, is this still available? And he goes, not for long. I says, if it's not too late, you want to call me? And he called me. We talked about 30 minutes, and I downloaded Venmo, sent him a deposit, wired him the money the next day. He sounded legit, and I was like,
okay, so you just paid him without even seeing it in person. Okay.
He had a business. He sells RVs, and he has a street rod business.
Okay.
So we talked, and we actually knew a couple people in common, and he lives in North Alabama. And so I had a buddy of mine drive me to North Georgia, and we met in a Cracker Barrel parking lot. It looked like a drug deal or something, We met. He towed his Jeep. We got in, and he showed me all the buttons, and this is how you shift it, and this is what it'll do when you give it gas, and all these things in 10 minutes. No, it was probably 30 minutes. But he showed me all these things. I'm like, cool. So I left my Ram at home because I found out what trailer I'm picking up and what hitch was on. So I drove up, hopped in this seat, and I drove 15 hours after coming from Central Florida to North Georgia. Hopped in this seat and drove 15 hours more, and I picked up that trailer. I've never towed cars, and on the side it says not for hire, right? Private coach, not for hire, and I'm towing police cars. So I was doing, the folks a favor by getting the show. There were show cars to the show, and an agency pulled up and says, what's the deal with these cars in private? And we talked, and they're like, oh man, that's cool of you to do that for the agency and stuff like that. So it was cool. So I drove the first day to Texas, all the way to Richmond, Virginia. Richmond, Virginia, back to Fort Worth, back to Florida, and that's when I hooked up to the Solitude, drug it up to Middlebury, Indiana, Elkhart, to get the independent suspension, all in a month. So, I got a lot of practice, a lot of miles in a short period of time when I first bought this, so it was exciting. I mean, I guess my adrenaline, and then the comfort of the truck. I didn't even know it was, I looked and I'm in Texas already, 15 hours. Wow. And I wasn't tired. I slept in here, went to Walmart, got the little toilet thing, and how the Overlander guys do it with the little shower thing.
Sure.
And went on, and then got a hotel the next night, but coming back. But just amazing. These things are just, they look big and massive, and holy crap, wow. But man, they drive. They're nice.
Right, you really feel like you're safe on top of the world when you're driving.
Yeah,
I bet. That's super cool.
For more epic RV tours like this one, make sure you smash that subscribe button, or you can scan this QR code right over here with your smartphone, and you can get subscribed for the next RV tour video. Let's get back into it.
I just put the gate up so they don't walk around that big.
Oh, you're not happy. Oh no. Time to get on the road. You guys drive at night often, or?
yeah.
Okay.
I don't have everything built on the back of the bed yet, so
Sure.
I have lights and cameras. I'll have a
I
side
think it's
camera.
too low. I hate this one. It's scary.
Yeah. Well, you've seen our Crushes truck video, right?
A little bit more. Stop. Slowly. Go a little bit more. Super slow. Super. Keep going. Okay. Yeah. I have a witness.
It sounded like a good click.
Witness, buddy.
You still do a safety tug with this thing?
No, you don't have to with the
Okay.
saver.
All right.
Because if the pin goes in front of the bar, that baby's locked. And here's take the safety breakaway. Mount that baby there. So, see that can't. This bar here comes up and then goes back, and then this spring pin comes in front of it, so it acts like a lock.
Okay.
And it can't come forward.
Cool.
I'm going to go up in the cab.
Okay.
And in the cab, I can regulate the air pressure and the airbags on the hitch. So what I'm going to do is raise the air pressure in the bags to give the fifth wheel a little bit more smoother ride.
Okay, yeah, right
so we
down
have
in
two
there.
sets of airbags and a shock absorber on each side of this hitch. And you see the dogs? Those dogs are locked.
Yeah, you are locked in there, yeah.
You're familiar with that.
Oh, yeah.
Seen right here, in the event that I need to air up my tires, whether it be on the Semi or on the Solitude, we've got up to 125 PSI.
Oh, cool.
Fixture.
That's awesome.
And that the air pump that is on the truck, actually, this would probably, or not probably, this would be like the air to supply to the semi-trailer air brakes. So I can turn that on or off, and then just when I plug the air hose in, it's acting like we have a semi-trailer on the back, which supplies air to the air brakes.
Sure.
So now it'll supply me air to my air nozzle, which I can air up my tires. So I don't have to have another compressor or anything like that. And you notice the lights on the back of the truck
Match the Jeep. Check it out.
How about that?
Yeah, that's awesome.
My little idea that I asked Jesse and Neil to do, and it worked out well.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I was looking at those back there. I'm like, gosh, that reminds me of the Jeep lights.
Yeah. Check out this. When I turn my turn signal on, they're sequential.
Oh, cool.
So that matches the Jeep. Now I got to wire the Jeep to the truck, so when it's on the truck, oh, that'll work too.
There you go.
On the side of my fifth wheel and in the back are our sound-off signal lights. That's the emergency lighting company that I'm a manufacturer's rep for.
Okay.
Sound-off signal. So on most all your police cars and fire trucks, the emergency lighting you see is from sound-off signal. And I have the 4x2 silicone lights here, right? So when we're cruising down the highway, they're burning amber up front, obviously, and then in the rear, you see the rear marker light in the back is red. So those are my marker lights. Instead of having the incandescent little bulbs that kind of glow, these are nice and bright. And you see against the fence back there real quick, the glow of my turn signal, how bright that is?
Yeah.
All right, so we'll walk back there in a minute and turn the turn signals off. I'm going to unhook the trailer for a minute to show you.
Okay.
So now the lights are off. So if I'm in a campground or sitting still and I want some ambiance of some light, check this out.
Oh, wow.
Now those same lights are a steady burning blue. So just you see against the fence, I have them in the rear.
Right.
So now I turn those lights off. I plug it back in.
And now you're ready for the road.
All right, so we're gonna put it in reverse. Okay. There we go. Now we got reverse. You see what happens?
Oh, yeah. Wow.
So we have docking lights. We have midship in the rear, and then you see the fence, how the fence is lit up?
Yeah.
So those are lights, and you can see how bright it is way over here.
Oh, yeah.
So it lights up like right now when I go home, we got back into our site at Camp Margaritaville. I have docking lights so I can see the site. When we step back here, so we have good marker lights, right? So go ahead and hit the brakes, babe, the foot brake. You see that bright brake light right here?
Right.
Obviously one on each side. Off the brake, babe. Now give me a right turn signal. How about that?
Everybody knows what you're doing.
Yes. How about that?
I can see why you don't mind driving and parking at night.
Correct. So as long as you have the right tools, I guess we're good to go.
Wow.
That's what it looks like going down the road. So you can see the red and the amber on the sides of the fifth wheel are nice and bright.
Yeah, no kidding.
Good job, babe. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for the demonstration on that. That's really cool. Added little touches you got there.
Yeah, so each one of these lights are tricolor, as you saw. Like these are red, blue, and white, and those are amber, white, and blue. So I can get different color lights, you know, for different applications on the police cars, fire trucks, tow trucks. So we can do up to three colors on each light fixture.
Very cool.
And then we'll walk up here and I'll show you real quick. So when I go out and do my day job, the Tahoe that you see sitting here is my demonstrator vehicle. So it's a police Tahoe. So we got the prisoner cage and all that in there.
Oh, wow.
We can be the fire department. We can be the highway patrol. We can be a tow truck.
Or a spotlight. Holy cow.
Yeah, and those are the same lights that are on my fifth wheel for different applications on the police and fire vehicles and tow trucks.
Wow.
These particular lights right here in the front are the lights that are on the side of the fifth wheel, the 4x2 silicone-based lights.
Oh, okay.
Yep, so those lights that you see right there are right here. So how bright they are on this Tahoe is how bright they can be up on the fifth wheel. And we just program them for what kind of job we want them to do. Flash amber, burn amber, red, white, blue. So it does a multitude of different functions.
Do you ever use this for fun?
I cannot answer that question on the air. The answer is no. How about that?
No for film.
No fun. But it does get driven and training and all that kind of stuff. Demonstration vehicle. So it's awesome.
Very cool. So Nina, you must drive that now then, huh?
Well, this or that?
Right. Who's driving what here?
I'll
I'm
let her.
driving this.
Oh, I was going to let you drive the Volvo.
No.
Oh,
I would
okay.
run everyone off the road, so we don't want to do that.
Oh man.
We'd make it home quicker. You can pave the way for me. Now she's going to drive the Tahoe home.
I wouldn't change lanes. I would stay going 30 miles an hour in one lane.
See, now like we joke about how like Cheri will like hold a lane open for me
Right.
with the Jeep. You've got all these cop lights and things like that, so that's perfect. You
Well,
can literally
That was awesome if we could.
in theory, you know.
Operate all those things.
That'd be cool. You can escort me home.
I do.
Right.
I do change lanes so that he can get in front of me. But
Yeah, and I give. So with the Jeep up on top of the Volvo, you know, and I get it. People ride up beside the Volvo, they're taking pictures, but they stay there so long, and I need that lane, right?
Right.
So that light I showed you earlier on the side of the Volvo, the turn signal, I do this. I give them a 3 count. They see my turn signal, I count 1, 2, 3, and I give them a slight, hey, I'm coming over.
he
And
bulldozes himself over.
if that doesn't work, I just take my lane, and they can either A, take off, or hit the brakes. So
Okay.
that's how we roll. Politely, though. You know,
Yeah.
Sure.
because that's the house now, so we gotta take care of
the
it.
house.
But we have fun. People beep the horn and wave at us and stuff like that, so that's cool.
Oh yeah, I bet anybody do the trucker
All the time.
move all the time,
Yeah,
like
give-
you know.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I have an air horn on that. Well, I have the city horn, which is the horn on the dash or on the steering, which is the friendly beep beep. And then I have an air horn, and then I have a train horn.
Wow.
So when they give it the old toot toot, I combine the air horn and the train horn together, and what a beautiful sound.
Well, maybe you can give us a demo as you're pulling out.
All right.
So that's kind of tradition when you leave a group of friends
Toot,
to, yeah, let everybody know you're pulling out. So
Right on. We'll get her done.
cool. Well, I don't want to hold you guys up, but great to meet you again,
Yes.
Rob and Nina.
Yes.
Good to meet
Wow, I mean, amazing. I look forward to putting this together, and so
Same
yeah,
here.
safe
Same.
travels. More great RV tours, you can click on this playlist right over here for brand new RVs that are awesome, or you can click on this playlist right over here for RVers that have really cool upgraded RVs and inspirational stories.